Alright, hello and welcome everybody. We are doing something a little bit different today. If you had read the description, then you already know that we are flying the first half of the real Mille Miglia today. So I have always wanted to race the Mille Miglia in a computer game, or in reality of course, but as that's not possible because the Mille Miglia is so large, the only proper way how to experience it to use Microsoft Flight Simulator for it. So yeah, welcome everybody who's here. This will be quite a journey to cover the 1600 kilometers. We're doing the first rough half today. Hopefully fuel will last. I have not tried it out before. But yeah, I brought a really nice aircraft for this. This is a Piaggio. So if Italy, then I thought Piaggio is the way to go. Unfortunately not a Vespa, but a Piaggio P.149. One of the early 50s aircraft Piaggio has built. And yeah, so this was developed in the Piaggio offices in how do you say it? Genua in German. So and then what happened is that other companies license built this one. So actually this one is a Focke-Wulf, which is basically a German company. So this was license built in Germany. Also BMW license built the engine. So it's proper Bavarian engine in there. 6-cylinder, 270 horsepower, top speed around 300 kilometers an hour. And yeah, as I said, 1953 I think was the release of this plane, and I brought it in red, as it should be in Italy. And yeah, I'm not the flight sim expert, so if you're a die-hard flight simmer, then please be patient with me. I will make mistakes. I will probably not do everything fully realistic, but I will try. And I have no flying aids. The only aids I have is the landmarks and city markers, just for validation that we are going into the right direction. I will have a map on my site, Google Maps, just like that, but I will not use GPS or anything to find where we are. And we will just try to find the route of the real Mille Miglia. The route is in the description as well, so if you want to follow us on the map, you can do that using that route. And yeah, for now, let's go into the cockpit. It's really nice. So it looks like I have a helmet light on because it's still early in the morning. Mille Miglia started early in the morning or in the night, so we also have to start early. And I want to first explain a bit what we have here. And we will fly with all of these instruments here. So let me first turn on this light, and then I guess my own light will go off. But first, yeah, of course it's not working because the battery is off. Let's turn the battery on. Then we have this nice red light here. Can make it a little bit darker. So there are all kinds of controls here. This is completely overwhelming when you start. I have tried to learn this plane for now. So the most important thing is we have an additional fuel pump, which will mostly be used during start, as I understood. We have the magnetos, so ignition stuff, different sets, redundant ones during flight. We'll use set 1 and 2. We have a fuel valve, which is currently closed to avoid that fuel goes into the engine. We have starter, but first of all the instruments maybe. So this one is the most important one. This is our altitude indicator, which will show us how high we are flying. Hopefully it will always stay above 0. Then we have here a climb rate, so this tells me if I'm going up or down. I will try to stay at a constant height most of the time so that we have a very smooth flight. So keep it at 0 is good. If it goes this direction, then we are climbing. If it goes the other direction, then we are going down. Then here we have our compass. So this is a gyroscopic compass. Here we have a magnetic compass, and we already see that the gyroscopic one is completely off. So I will calibrate that later on. We have here our heading indicator, basically showing us if we are going level or not, but we also have the horizon to do that, so we mostly use visual flight rules. Here, this is something I won't use. I won't use radio navigation, and I won't use any beacons in the landscape to do navigation. I will all do it by looking out and searching the road. Here's our airspeed indicator. Everything that's green is stable flight, basically. Yellow is dangerous, and yeah, if you're off the charts, then you will not be flying for long. Here's a clock. I don't need a clock. What else do we need? I have some lights. This is navigation and communication. We will ignore that for now. I also have some, let's move over here, some nice indicators here for oil pressure and temperature. So we will see if the engine overheats or not. Then we also have some way to cool the engine. We have here our RPM indicator. We have here, is this fuel pressure? I don't know. No, I think this is manifold pressure. So pressure in the intake. Here we have fuel pressure, I think. This is engine temperature. We could try to keep it in the green. And here also important, our fuel gauge currently reads 0 because everything is still off. Parking brake is important as well. We can trim the rudder a little bit because of the gyroscopic effect of the engine. This will always try to turn a little bit, so from the manual set it between 5 and 6 to the right, and then it will go straight. Don't know what this does. So you see that I'm a pro. This was some radio compass, I don't care. So let's try to get this going. So battery is already on. Navigation lights, oil, starter, fuel meter, fuel pressure gauge, beacon lamp. Let's take a look. Here the beacon lamp is already flashing. Navigation lights. Nobody will hit us. We were flying without traffic though. Lamp somewhere, pitot heat. We will not go very high, so we don't need to heat I think this is the speed measurement unit. Gyro on, radio, and radio I don't care. So now the gyro is on and trying to get settled, and once it's settled then I will calibrate it. I've already done the rudder. What else do we do? Let's open up the starter button. Let's open the fuel valve. Let's prime the engine. So I'm pumping a bit of fuel into the engine so that there's something in there to start. I need the fuel pump switch so that it pumps. Magnetos 1, I think, and I need the generator, the alternator. And then I think the engine should be starting. Let's see. Have the propeller in the front. Success. Yes, this one is running. Let's give it a so here the propeller setting basically makes the propeller go faster or slower. It's like a gearbox in a car. And I have throttle here. And let's now heat it up a little bit while we prepare the rest. So what else do we have to do? This should all stay like it is, I guess. Here we also have an accelerometer. It will measure accelerations and maximum minimum accelerations. So let's try to be smooth and not have 10 Gs or something because the airplane will break. So the compass. The magnetic compass is currently telling us something like 222 degrees. So let's set that. That's the wrong one. So the gyroscope is not magnetic. This will basically just measure. It's an internal inertial measurement unit. Basically, it will measure with accelerations and then guess where we are. And this might also drift away over time, so we have to recalibrate it during flight. I know it's all a bit nerdy today, but I love it. So, what else do we have to do? This one is somewhat alright, yes. I think we're good. We see that the engine temperature slowly has risen, oil as well. Let's give it a little bit more throttle. RPM is rising. Currently, this is basically the small finger is pointing to the 2. This means 2000 and or almost 2000, so we are at 1920 RPM right now. So I think then this is still rising very slowly. The oil temperature is rising. We're getting into the green. Also the engine temperature is getting into the green, so this is looking alright. Just thinking if I missed something, can close this one. And here in between I have maybe let's take a look at this. We have our flaps lever, so the flaps will, as it says, will operate the flaps. For start I will use a flaps setting of 2, so these are the flaps here. Then I also can control it here with the wings here, and I have the rudder and also the back for climbing and going down. So controls are working. I'm on an Xbox controller here. Fuel tanks, I have 2 tanks, left and right. Currently I have set it to use both. You can also set it to 1, but then it will not have an even weight distribution. So now I put it somehow into the wrong position. Okay, now it's perfect. This is also important. This is the trim wheel, basically shifting weight front to back so that you don't always have to pull on this lever here to stay level. You can just adjust an offset here basically so that the airplane stays in level flight. Also very important. I have a button mapped, so I won't operate this wheel here directly. Alright, then I think we're ready to go. Everything's in the green. Things are looking good. Let me adjust my seating position so that we see what we are doing. And then one thing I can only do now because we're still here. I can open up the roof, so I have a convertible. Very nice. I can also close it. This plane was mostly used as a trainer plane, so for practice purposes in military. It's also very good for practicing myself. Landing lights, I don't need those. I think I'm ready to go. It's also now day, so I can see where I'm going. So what we need to do is now release the parking brake. And then we're slowly rolling. We should have gotten a pushback from the guy next to us, but I can also just turn around here. And then we will taxi our way to the start and go to Brescia, the start of the Mille Miglia. So we now go a little bit to the southeast, I guess. And from there we will fly. I'm completely not running well here, so I should stay on the yellow lines and should follow the paths that are meant to be. Here, for example, here's a line I should follow. So let's follow that one. I will throttle down because we're going too fast. Also, I don't know why there are lights standing here all in the middle of the road, but we will drive around that. So again, welcome to everybody who joined me here today. Let's drive here in between. And yeah, we will do the first half of the Mille Miglia from Brescia to Rome. It will take, I guess, more than 3 hours. So I hope you all are comfortable. Please fasten your seatbelts, of course. I have something to drink. I have my favorite red grape juice here. So also had pizza before the stream. So I'm definitely in the mood for this. You'll just taxi to the end and then turn around. So the only thing that's breaking immersion a bit is the augmented reality, basically, with the city indicators. But this will help a lot for during navigation, because all of the roads look the same. Italy is very densely populated, so it's sometimes hard to find the right road to follow. So at least when we're going 5 minutes in one direction, I want to know that I'm going into the right direction and actually reach the right cities. So let's throttle down a bit more. In reality, you would have needed to communicate also with the tower to get starting permission and so on. I'm not that hardcore of a flight simmer. So we're almost there. I have the flaps down, I have my rudder, I have done all of the checks I needed to do from my point of view. So what could possibly go wrong? Full throttle. And now watch the speed indicator rise. Here. When it's in the green, I will take off. Yeah, give it a bit more speed. And then let's have a smooth takeoff. Very nice. So the landing strip basically is long enough for this one. Now that we are in stable flight, I can turn off the extra fuel pump. I can switch magnetos. Probably should have done that to both sets. And then slowly climb to something between 1000 and 2000 feet. I can pull in the wheels. I can raise the flaps. And then let's go and try to get into a stable flight. Currently I'm constantly pulling back on the yoke a bit, and I want to change that, so I need to trim it. And I also want to go at lower RPM, so I read that about 3000 RPM is a good RPM for this plane, for longer distances, for fuel efficiency. So let's see. Currently what I'm watching is the altitude, or the climb indicator. We're climbing at 500 feet per minute, or a bit more even, so that's alright. I still want to climb a little bit, and I will just see where we level off. Probably for my taste, I'm climbing a little bit too far, so I will trim it down just a tiny bit. You heard the little squeak. That was me operating this trim wheel. And yeah, it looks like we are leveling out really nicely. Hello Pixel Player, I'm doing good. Hope you are too. And yeah, at the foot of this little hill there's Brescia, and there is the start. And now that the sun is up, we can also turn off this one. And yeah, there's Brescia, and we will take a closer look there. We are still climbing a bit too much. I'm throttling down just a tiny bit. The throttle is basically also altitude control, without actually pulling the plane up or down. Give it more throttle, it will fly higher. Give it less, it will fly lower. And to search for a start, I'm going a little bit out of the plane. And yeah, let's go here. So Microsoft Flight Simulator truly is beautiful. It has a few issues with the AI generated landscapes. At some point in the city centers, when they are not hand built, but it's good enough for us to find what we are looking for. And I'm looking for this tower here. This tower is looking a bit different in reality, very 1930s looking. So and this plaza here in front of this tower, this is where the cars of the Mille Miglia, they parked there during the night. People could take a look at them, and where they then started the race one by one in a 1 minute interval, starting with the smallest ones first. So for example, the tiny Isettas started sometimes even at sometimes at 10 o'clock in the evening already. They had 500, 600 cars sometimes, so they really needed to spread them out. And the bigger cars were started in the early morning, just like we are currently starting. Maybe we are a little bit late, but at least we are seeing where we are going. So again, here's the Piazza della Vittoria, and this is the start of the Mille Miglia. And from there on we will head east, and our first goal is are a few villages around the Lago di Garda, and this is a lake we already see here on the horizon. That's very easy to follow. And of course this is now set in 2020. MS Flight Sim. In the 50s this was all completely different. We have many new highways here, we have many new roads. I try to find or guess the roads they have actually taken. I will not follow the highways, but somewhat the more, a bit higher but local roads. And I guess this one we are currently following here is the road they have been taken out of Brescia, and that's why we are following this one as well. I just wanted to take a look somewhere here. This building here is the Mille Miglia Museum. If you're ever in Brescia, visit it. It's definitely worth it. It's an old monastery converted into a museum. I was there 2 years ago, and yeah, it's quite nice. So then let's go back into the cockpit. Let's check. Oh, we're way too high for my taste. 2,500 feet. Let's go a little bit down. Of course we can see a lot better from up here, but we don't have to be that high. So I'm throttling down just a tiny bit. You can see it that the lever is pulled back just a little bit, and this will also give us some possibility then to later throttle up again in case we have to cross some hills. So I know that The next villages are on the southern border of the Lago di Garda, so I'm following the road somewhat into this direction, but in parallel I also have some Google Maps on another screen just to be sure that we're going into the right direction. And I guess somehow like this, so following this road should bring us into the direction I want to go. Yeah, I think that's alright. What's the city? That's Benedetto. Yeah, that's definitely alright. And then we can cross this river here and follow this route there to the Lago di Garda. So I guess this start here is one of the more cornery parts. You also can see that the Italians love their roundabouts, so this is all sprinkled with roundabouts. Definitely in the 1950s they didn't have roundabouts. With regards to the Mille Miglia challenge, I was traveling all week and I haven't worked on it, and today I was also not in the mood yet. So yeah, I will start to work on it when I close the voting period, which will happen very soon on Saturday. So then I will work on the Mille Miglia as well, our automation community challenge. So I'm not sure if I went a little bit too much to the north. If anybody knows the best route, please let me know. But I guess we just follow this road here, and then we will end up where we want to be. So the road now turns around to the left, and then we'll go down to the coast. Down there, through the city, and then comes back here, and then we are probably on the right road again. So then let's follow here. Again, a major intersection here. Let's follow through the small valley. And I guess this might already be our first checkpoint. Desenzano della Garda. Yeah, that's already the first city that I'm 100% sure we have to meet. So we will enter it from here. This is the city center here. Here MS Flight Sim has problems with the Italian architecture, and we will follow the coastline. Hello, Redbird. We'll follow the coastline there, then we will come across Simeone. Yeah, Simeone, that's it. And also visit beautiful Lago di Garda, and look how it's carved into the mountains there. So this is the southern edge of the Alps, and the lake really stretches all the way up there. Yep, this is Microsoft Flight Sim. Something a bit different for today, because I wanted to do this for a long time. And we are flying the route of the historic Mille Miglia. And this is probably the route here, this road along the coast, which will lead us to our next checkpoint, which is Peschiera del Garda, and this should be this marker down there. So let's take a look at our instruments. Currently I have been playing around with the yoke a bit, we have been syncing a bit, but everything's alright. Fuel tank 92%. This is quite some consumption. Everything else is in the green, so I don't have to open the engine cooling flaps. Oh, the oil temperature is a bit high, maybe we will open it a bit. The plane is a Piaggio P.149, and I just opened these flaps here for more cooling. So a 1950s Italian plane, license built in Germany by Focke-Wulf, with a also license built engine. So it's built by BMW, but not an original BMW design. So, Peschiera del Garda, this is what we just crossed, and we now need to go to Verona and find a good road for that. So let me quickly check how we get out of this city. Probably like this. This is the smaller road here, and then it turns up here, big roundabout, and I think this is what we will follow. Yes, I think it's looking alright. This is the SR11, and on our right there's the Autostrada. Definitely, I think it was opened after the Mille Miglia happened. Just checking my light. Yeah, still 2,000 feet. We're doing alright. And further follow this road here. So now we are somewhere in between the Alps and a big empty flat there. It's not empty, it's actually quite full, but this is the big plains of the river Po, so formed by the river over probably thousands and millions of years. So not a lot going on here from a landscape perspective, but this will change later on, I promise. And we see the road here, it's very straight. If there is a roundabout, I can assure you this was not there in the 50s. So just imagine blasting down these roads without traffic in a 1950s sports car, no windshield or basic windshield. If you're lucky, you had a roof and a windshield, and then blasting down that road at 200-250 kilometers an hour. Probably very bumpy ride as well. So I'm just seeing if we're going right. So we're in between Pescantina and Lugagnano. Okay, that's perfect. And on the horizon I can see already the city of Verona. Hey Ogush, thanks. I hope you can still study while watching. I'm in a 1950s plane. If I said 1850s, of course that's bullshit. It's a 1953 plane, I guess. And it's not part of standard Microsoft Flight Sim, it's a payware mod. basically for 20 euros or something. I just needed to have something Italian for this from the era. Yeah, so proper 1950s plane. I can also show you the badge here, which is very important, of course. So we see here it's a Piaggio, but license built by Focke-Wulf in Bremen, Germany. Bremen, it says here, there's the number stuff, everything on there. But let's look ahead. We are in Verona. So we are entering the city on this road here. And we have here big sports arena. We have the train station and also another arena, somewhat like a mini Colosseum, is already there in Verona. And look at how beautiful this is. God, I love Italy. I love the architecture. I love the food, of course. I love the wine. Very nice. So here's somewhat Colosseum type of things. Definitely not as destroyed as the original one. Very nice old time town here. So this is one of the purpose-built city centers here. Yeah. And from here on we need to go probably along this road. And head on to our next stop in Vicenza. So let me check the route. I think this road is quite fine. Yeah, it would be nice if we would be already in Rome, but we still have a few hours ahead of us until then. I guess the original road is down here, down this center of this village. Then we have the train line here. Just need to find if we're going the right direction. Yeah, that's definitely right, and there's the highway merging from the left. So I will further follow this route where my nose is currently pointing at. Hi Nico. Mille Miglia was run kind of similar as the Targa. The main difference is that there were not 50 or 60 cars, but 500. So they had to start in the night, sometimes at 10 o'clock in the evening, and the leading cars would start at 5 or 6 in the morning. Everybody in 1 minute intervals. Hey Centuri, thanks a lot. So yeah, the starting procedure at the Mille Miglia was something different because it really lasted for 6, 7, 8 hours. And the very slow cars started at the beginning, so that they basically had almost 16, 18 hours to reach the finish, hopefully in daylight conditions. And for the Mille Monti, for our automation equivalent, we will basically do the same. So we also start with the smaller engines first, 1 minute intervals. But let me quickly check out what we are doing here. So currently the plane is a bit climbing too much. Trim it down a tiny bit. Also remove a bit of throttle to get it under control again. And yeah, we're still in the early morning. I think it's around 6:30 here. So the sun is just rising. Very realistic conditions here. Still traveling along the of the Alps. Yeah, Targa Florio, I know more cars were entered and yeah, they just didn't make it to Sicily. Brescia was a little bit easier to reach. When can we expect a video for the Mille Miglia? I honestly don't know yet, so I don't want to stress myself out too much. I will close the design vote on Saturday. We'll prepare the presentation of contestants and scrutineering. This will be the first video, and after that it will still take another week or two for final results. So just be patient. I don't want to burn myself out doing this, and it's quite easy to do so if you have 280 entries. So yeah, please be patient. So we are reaching San Bonifacio. Here we take a tiny left turn. So basically we are entering the city from here, I guess. Go through here and then all the way up there. Or are we? Let me quickly check. Yeah, I think I'm on the wrong track here. I think we need to go a bit over there. So this road is looking more promising. And the sun is right into our eyes. So starting earlier would have helped here. I can see almost nothing from here. Let's zoom out a bit. Let's get some fresh air. Ah, it's so cool. Microsoft Flight Simulator is so cool, and I'm just scratching the surface of what you can do there. Redbird, the next Cisalpina automation campaign video, I will probably work on it on Saturday or Sunday. So release maybe early next week, maybe late next week, probably. So let me take a look. Yeah, the Montebello Vicentino is just right. So we can follow this road here along this canal. And then this road turns, yeah, like this up here. Again, not on the main highway, but I think they ran on this more local road. This is the look to the north, and the empty flat plains of the River Po. So let me check what our fuel says. So I would really like to reach Rome today. But what do we have? Still 88, 87%. It's also, you can see it fluctuating a bit as it jumps around. And I had just a very long freeze. I thought the game would crash, but luckily not. And we're pulling around here. God, the sun is blinding me. Let's save our eyes. Take a look at the plane. Really nice. So there we are in Chiazzo, and Vicenza is basically right ahead. Still 3000 RPM. I will throttle down. I will turn the propellers down just a tiny bit to get into more efficient range. Exactly 3000, that's what we like. Yeah, the sun is not that bright, it's just right on the horizon and probably also reflected from the sea, because we're not far away from the Adriatic coast. So, yeah. Here we have Vicenza. And next stop is Padova. So we come in here on this main road. My nose is pointing right now. We have the main station there. And the city center, the old town, right there. The cathedral was not detected by the AI. That's the big black spot there. Okay, but still absolutely beautiful. So let's find our exit. It looks like this road here, going from the left to the right, looks like a main road going southeast. I guess we should go around 135 degrees. Let's check what our compass says. 120, 110. So this one is off by 5-6 degrees already. But I guess it's somewhat okay. No, it's not okay. I think I need to go there. So this road, south of the train line. Yeah, I think this is looking better. Toro di Quazzolo is correct. Perfect. And we also get closer to the highway there, on the right again. And we take, on this junction here, we'll take the right turn, or it's actually straight ahead. And go down there. And now we are really in the agricultural zone of Italy. Look at those farms. Think of all the beautiful food this will result in. Now we're crossing the highway. and yeah, going into the next little town down there. Still, these roads are probably so fast. I don't know how bumpy they were back in the day, but the corner radii are not that tight. This is quite tight, okay, but the rest, most of it is probably flat out, and you just hope that you won't hit a chicken crossing the road or something. It's absolutely insane when you think about it. What the people did back then. So, still at 1,600 feet, which is good. And we're on the right path. Mestrino also is what I had planned. Yes, suicidal chicken all over Italy. So let's head to Mestrino. Bye, Redbird. Thanks for tuning in. And these are now already the suburbs of Padua. And now the sun is finally getting its light on the landscape. Looking absolutely awesome, and I'm not even on highest graphics settings because it just didn't work with OBS. I had serious stutters. I think it's better now. So when I tested the stream, it was not that good. So I had to reduce a few things. And I hope it's alright now. And we have here Sarmiola. And very soon we're in Padua. And then in Padua we will take a 90-degree turn to the right, to southwest basically, or southwest, and this will be a bit tricky, I guess, to find the right road. Let's see if I can do it. So very densely populated again here, as we are very close to Padua. And then we will say goodbye to the sun for now. Enter the city here on this road. And here we have the historic city center. Around that square there's a cathedral there, or multiple cathedrals. Beautiful town. I haven't been there yet, unfortunately, but it looks absolutely stunning. Now let's look for our exit here. I'd say let's take a look here. There's a bridge. But it's probably that bridge over there. So right here, so we come out here, and this should be the direction we should take. Yeah, compass says it should be alright. So we go here, and then I think there's a road along this canal, and this is exactly what we want to follow. Yeah. That's exactly our way. So you see the road here on the left side of the canal, and I think this is where we need to go. If any of you has any idea if they actually used the highways, as we see one here on the left side, please let me know. But I really don't think they did, because then I would have imagined that the average speeds would even be higher than what they achieved. And I don't know if they would close down the highways for the race. It would be much easier to close down a few of these local roads. So, a few remaining mountains here in this big plain. Okay, now going southwest. Did the highways even exist back then? I googled a few, and a few definitely didn't exist in the area. I don't know when the Italians really started to build their highway network, but definitely not all of them existed back in 1950. Also, my Italian is not that good to do advanced research, but for a few things I found out that they opened in 1958 or something. So I'm pretty sure that the route I'm showing you is not completely off. So, where are we right now? Don't want to make a mistake, but Taglia Terme. Yeah, should be alright. Still can continue. Along the canal. And then in Monselice we have to take a tiny turn to the left. So currently the road is disappearing here in the canal. So a few rendering issues, but it's still there on the left side of the canal. It's crazy how many canals there are. This one on the left looks like a proper river, but the rest definitely is man-made. So here we are in Monselice. There's also some kind of old castle on there, or some ruins at least. And here in Monselice we will take this left turn and follow this road. Yeah. This should be the right direction. And we have an interchange there between two of these roads, and the highway is there on the left. Yeah, things are looking good. A few months ago I also tried a car mod for MS Flight Sim for something else. So I also, next to the Mille Miglia, I also wanted to do the Carrera Panamericana in Flight Sim, and I tried out if I can drive it in the car mod, but the quality of the road surface is really not good enough. So it looks much worse than stuff like GP Legends from down there. So it's definitely good to stay above the earth. So here we have Solesino. That's great to see that we're still on track. And it also looks like we have some side wind or something going on. We're definitely crabbing. But it's easy to control. We have here Senigallia. And I think, is that already the actual River Po? No, that's not the River Po down there, that's the River Edge. So the main river is still waiting. Yeah, it's a bit not very spectacular out down here in this in this plain. But the speeds they must have reached here, they are spectacular. They are definitely, there's no elevation here, so you can see forever and just keep it planted. So then, did they go through Rovigo or not? I would say probably yes. So historically this would be the road that existed first, and the one on the left was probably built when the city became too large, when they wanted to keep traffic out of the city. So the question is, was it already there in the 50s or not? My guess is no. Let's go through the city center. Of Rovigo. Again, everything in the city center looks like a shopping mall, but that's alright, and we will exit the city right there. It's good to have a pointer there on the propeller. I don't have to use the mouse. So, Nick, we are in Rovigo, which is just after Padova, and our next stop is Ferrara. So we are still in the big flat part in the north of Italy. Almost at the delta of the River Po. This is somewhere over there. So here we have the River Po flowing from right to left into the Adriatic Sea, which is just there. And yeah, we are now trying to find Ferrara. It should be somewhere down there, across on the other side of the River Po. Again, a big long straight here to unleash the power of your Ferrari V12. So just a few weeks ago I also saw a movie, a Ferrari, about the Mille Miglia 57 or something, which was actually interesting because by accident I was in Modena when they have been shooting the movie. So I can proudly say they had to edit me out of the movie when they made the racing scenes through Modena, because I was standing right next to the road and taking a look at the different cars blasting past there. A Ferrari on a trailer basically to film it. Two other Ferraris, a Porsche 356, Mercedes SL. So quite interesting. And they had to edit out all of the hundreds of people, of the spectators, and CGI some appropriately dressed 50s persons, which is quite interesting. So here we have now to go to the right and stay on this side of the river. So this is the road we are taking. Hi René. Yeah, everybody pressuring me for the results of the Mille Monti. It'll get done, I promise. Nick, interesting. So, have you been to Ravenna as well, or just worked on a ship that went there occasionally? So we further follow this route now upstream the River Po, and we will probably take the next bridge across it. But first of all, let's check our altitude again. 2000 feet is excellent, and Yule is saying 78% maybe. Don't know if that's enough for our tour today. So going to Rome is definitely more than half of the trip. But I really would like to reach Rome, because they said back in the day somewhat Rome was the halfway mark, and whoever was first in Rome was not first in the finish. This was basically the tradition. Something happened to the leader, some mechanical issue, some accident, so just try not to be first in Rome, then you have good chances. Yeah, René, no problem. I didn't understand it. It's just funny that everybody's asking, but it also shows that everybody's really into it and highly motivated. So yeah, very engaged. It's very nice to see, to have such an active community without having a place for the community like Discord and something. So I guess I need to get something started at some point. So now we're in Santa Maria Maddalena, and I see a bridge down there. There's the bridge we are taking, and then crossing the river, and there is Ferrara over there. So the route of the Mille Miglia actually changed over the years. and I think we are flying the 1945 and 1955 and 1940. Sorry, the 1954 and 1955 version, which basically were the same. No proper reason why. I just had the route mapped out already from a few years earlier when I just wanted to check out the route on the map. So I just took what I already had. And now we're moving into the city, probably around this road or the one to the right. I probably needed to take this one to get over the train tracks into the city. In the city there would probably be a control point where you get a stamp into your road book and where they take their time. There would also have been an option as a tunnel through the train tracks to move into the city. And here we have a landmark, the Castello Estense. Very nice. And from there, where do we have to go? To check Ravenna. Ravenna is the next one. And this is southeast. So probably this direction. Let's stay on this side of the river. Probably take this very long road along the Castello out of the city and cross over the river down there. Interesting that the marker for Ferrara is over there. So we're crossing the river or the canal. Again, it's a canal, definitely. And then this is our road, probably. Yeah, multiplayer BeamMP, I'm probably not hosting that because I don't know if I want to get into that. It's probably quite unstable still. And we cannot have many people taking part, so I probably won't do that. So, but first let me find out if we're actually right here. I've crossed over the river. Is that a good idea or not? Well, Desenzano. I see Cesena, and definitely we are too far north. So this is not the route I wanted to take. But we can. I think we can still. So I don't know if we are wrong, and I also don't know what would have happened if you took the wrong turn during the real Mille Miglia. I know there were these red arrows and signs telling you where to go, but probably nobody would have noticed if you took a wrong turn and found the right one later, found the right track later on. I think that would have been fine. So I'm just trying to find back. This is the highway we should not take. And let's take a look at find Ferrara is over there, back there, and we should have somehow driven around here, and we took the road down there. I didn't note down all of the directions for the compass. I should have done that probably. So at some point we will meet up with a pretty straight road again. It could also be that they actually traveled down this road. I don't know. But I could also couldn't check all of the roads when they were built. So just hoping that we are somewhat alright. And I think I can see the road here. There's definitely the train line. We need to cross that one, and then next one is the road. Yeah, and then we are on track again. So at least let's take a look back where we should have come from. And that's basically here, this line, all the way to Ferrara, which is here. We still see the Castello. And then come down here. Again, full speed. So the beginning of this race must have been so quick. Remembering the route was actually not necessary, because there were signs and they also had a road book. There were signs on each intersection, but basically the Mercedes team, or I think it was Sterling Moss, he took a journalist with him, Mr. Jenkins, and they basically invented the road book like you know it from rally. So the co-driver told the driver what came up, and then they actually won the event because they were very well prepared. They drove the route in advance. They took all of the notes, and Jenkins read out all of the notes that they had. And they, of course, you can be quicker if you know what's coming up. Especially here on this very long straights, if you know what's behind the next crest, then you can just keep it planted. Did any of them get ever lost? Probably. Probably there were some who missed a turn. I think it's highly likely when sometimes 200 people, sometimes 400 people started this race. Somebody, of course, got lost. Or they just... so there were also very many, let's say, amateurs or tourists entering the race without proper cars. So everyday cars just driving, taking part for the fun of it, and they might have just stopped at some point because of exhaustion and so on. Why risk anything when you're just doing it for fun? So Boccaleone, very good, we are on track. This is now the SS16. Again, potentially might not have existed, or might not have existed like this with 2 lanes in each direction. There's an alternative route down here with more corners. This road definitely did exist back in the day, but the question is really, what is it? There's just some very high level maps, not really showing which route to take. You probably needed to invest into some original documents, which would be worth hundreds and thousands of dollars. So you needed to get an official road book to reconstruct the route, and even then it would be very difficult because all of the interchanges changed. But it would be really interesting if somebody already did the work and had a proper route reconstruction for the Mille Miglia. So we're through Argenta, and there was some intersections there we had to take. But now we're leaving the city on this road here. Again, canals everywhere. So the big river is really, yeah, feeding all of this area with the water. Then we go to San Biagio, and very soon we'll meet. We will end up in Ravenna, and then we already have almost reached the Adriatic coast and the sea. So that's our road still. I'm still pointing with my propeller. And then, do we stay here or not? No, we have to cross over. Sorry. Let's cross over there. Over the canal. Cross and take this road. I think that's the way we need to take. Yeah. Not go into Lavizzola, but in this direction. Were there any deaths on the Mille Miglia? Definitely. So I don't know all of them, but at least in 1957 there was one with the Ferrari driver who was killed, and also took some spectators with them, which actually ended the Mille Miglia. So it was not beautiful, but the normal end for any of these road races. Big accident with driver and spectators killed, and that's the end then. So, where are we right now? Next one up is Taglio Corelli, which is on track. Very good. Now we have a few corners at least, so cars would have had to slow down. Definitely here. But still, landscape is very flat. And very easy to drive probably. This section here definitely was not there on the left. The gigantic roundabout leading to this single farm. Don't know what the plans there were. So the original road probably like this. Let's go here. Then this is Alfonsine. Yeah. Let's go through there. Starlight Alchemist, I used ray tracing settings, medium ray tracing settings for the screenshots, and the rest was just everything turned up to max. Performance is not an issue when you're taking photos. 1 FPS is enough. I had a few more. And then it's just about a bit of exposure settings. So, yeah, it's not rocket science, and also there are some nice presets you could also try out in case you're struggling with photo quality. So again, crossing a river there, and where's Ravenna? It should be visible somewhere. I think it's this patch down there. yeah, each of these long distance road races, they had fatalities, of course. They were going at speeds that's incredible, and just, yeah, you had dirt on the road or something, or somebody spilled some oil, you had no chance. No guardrails, something, there's always a tree waiting for you. In a historic road racing championship in sim racing, done by GP Labs in 2022, I believe. We raced at the Isle of Man, for example, where they are still crazy enough to do a motorcycle race right now. And we did that in 1950s sports cars, and it was absolutely terrifying. So Isle of Man, also the old Dundrod circuit, also Targa Florio. Targa Florio is alright because it has so many corners that it's actually quite slow. But yeah, Isle of Man was just absolutely absolute horror. Alright, now we're coming up to Ravenna, and we also see the Adriatic coast, small lagoon there, and there's the Mediterranean Sea on the, basically on the right side of the Italian boot. But first let's head to Ravenna. We're almost 1.5 hours in. I know I took a few minutes to start, so pure flight time maybe 1 hour 50 so far to Ravenna. This is definitely quicker than what the cars did. I'm doing 140 knots, which is maybe 250 kilometers an hour, and I'm also not taking the longer, so I'm definitely taking a shorter route, taking shortcuts here and there, so, and I don't have to slow down, so I'm definitely quicker than the cars. So here we are in Ravenna. Big soccer stadium on the right. I think this city is just AI generated. Yep. No hand-built asset here. Yeah, but still beautiful. And here from Ravenna we will probably take a road down here towards, oh no, we need to go towards Forlì, and that's more in this direction. So we're not directly going to the coast. Let's see, maybe let's cut out of the city like this and head down there. Oh, sorry for the incapable cameraman. Let's try the road down here along this river. Let's head into the countryside a bit again. So let me check where we are. There's San Marco. This should be on our right. And yeah, Gibullo ahead is exactly where we want to go. So we follow this road here, right under our nose. Not perfectly straight, a bit challenging. Not the highest speeds. Yeah, I competed in it in the HRC in the 3-liter class, so not the big guys, but in the middle class there was the 2-liter, 3-liter, and 5-liter. I was not that reliable back then, and also didn't make all the events. But I took a overall third and a class win in Dundrod, so that was quite nice. So I'll further follow this river. There's still the road next to it. Then we'll end up in Forlì. And from Forlì we go to Cesena and then to Rimini. Let's check our stuff. Temperatures are looking fine. Still exactly 3000 RPM. Oil temperature still a bit on the high side. Let's give it a bit more cooling. Don't know if it changes anything. Speed is alright. 2000 feet, well 1900. Compass is off, but I'll just use the magnetic one. I don't need it in detail. Alright. Fuel level, I wanted to check that. 66%, so 1/3 is gone. And I think we can make it until Rome. Yeah, Aiden Milward did some of the commentary. Was hilarious. Was a really good one for the job. And now I'm racing with GP Labs in some longer events hosted by somebody else, by Nico, who was also here a few minutes ago. The historic, how is it called? HRSC, I think. They are currently doing Trans Am muscle cars. I haven't made the first 2 rounds, but I will join in the third. And I will also join in when they are doing other races. Upcoming is the Targa Florio full length. GP Labs will be starting there. I won't be available, unfortunately, but I'm really hoping for our race or something like that in Spa 1967 with rain. That would be really amazing. And then I'm hoping also that GP Labs will join again. So now we're in Forlì. There's an airport ahead. I have taken a flight to end my Italy trip 2 years ago from there. And we need to take this road here, I think, back to Cesena. So we fly towards southeast again. Yeah, Popoli ahead. And yeah, that's looking alright. So let's take a look at the landscape. We are entering the Abruzzi, the mountain range in the center of Italy. and behind us is the big plain. And on the other side there's the Adriatic coast. Crossing through Popoli. No, Popoli, sorry. Also sorry for butchering all of the Italian names. Bye Techno. Who is my favorite F1 driver of all time? That's a very good question. As I'm quite old already, the hero of my youth, and I'm German, the hero of my youth obviously was Michael Schumacher. So I watched every race, I think from 1994 or 1995 onwards, when I was 6 or 7 years old. I watched every race, no matter the time of day. So probably only because of that I need to say it's probably him. I won't go into a discussion of driving ethics and the things that happened in 1994 or 1997. Definitely it's not like it was 100% good, but from a dedication point of view, definitely an idol. Maybe not in all situations behind the wheel, I would say. Then Vettel, of course, has grown on me over the time. Frentzen, all of the German drivers, of course. Frentzen was completely underrated, a very great guy. And also Lauda. Lauda was the first really professional driver, I would say. Yeah, those are probably it, and then you can probably add Moss and Fangio to that. Yeah. And currently, in the current season, I don't really watch F1 anymore, so it's a bit hard to tell. I like it when Verstappen doesn't win, because it's just plain boring. Also liked it when Hamilton didn't win again. I liked always when somebody new won the race or a championship or something. So from the current lineup, probably my favorite is Alonso. Alonso and Bottas. Those are the great guys. So, Cesena was already done, and now am I still on track? I hope so. Check a bit. Cesena is there. Yep. I think this road is still fine, the road that we are following. Might also be that the road on the left, the elevated one here, is the correct one, but I don't think it would have existed back then. So probably it's just this one we're following right here. And then we have a few clouds here, but somewhere on the right side there should be San Marino actually. So now we're getting into the clouds a bit. Gambettola, we're still on the south of it, which is alright. Yeah, I think we are still going into the right direction. Am I too high? Still at 2,200 feet. Can throttle down a little bit. Sink. So this should now be ahead, should be Savignano sul Rubicone, even though it doesn't have a marker, just a neighboring town. There's one. We're getting closer to the coast again. Driving probably through the city center here. This one or this one. And then heading down there. Need to close my window if we want to save fuel, right? Probably not simulated. I need to do it. And I also want to check out my oil temperature. Actually, yeah, the temperature has... No, the oil temperature is still the same, so don't know if the cooling flaps actually do something in these conditions. There seems also to be some kind of castle up here. And I think somewhere, I think this mountain there, currently in the clouds, is San Marino. But we take this road now all the way to the coast and to Rimini. There's the marker for Rimini. So probably follow this road first to the city center, and then we are ready for the blast along the coast. And again, this is probably more quick than I would have imagined the Mille Miglia to be. So let's go to the left here. Again, along the coast, of course, the roads are very flat. And there are many, many very straight sections there, and they could blast through the city centers like crazy. From my understanding, at least. Yeah, definitely on this mountain there's San Marino. Pretty sure. So we will take this bridge here, go through the city center, again shopping malls, and then there down the road to the airport, where all of the fat German tourists come to, and then they walk over there, put their towel on their seat, and drink beer all of the time. So Rimini is one very famous vacation destination. I don't know if especially in Germany, but for German families, very nice and wide beach, probably very, very calm waters for the kids, and we can see all of the towels and seats and All of the hotels there lined up on the long coast. I think there's the train line in the center. So the question is, did they take this route here? Might be. And then what's probably has been existing already is the long road directly at the beach. But I guess they would have raced here, because it more looks like the original route through the city center, maybe. So the one route that's lined with trees here as well. We have here Regione. So many hotels there. And now there's Misano Adriatico. Very interesting. If you know the name, you might know that there's a racetrack. This is the Misano track. I think mostly used in GT3, something, also on an international level. Yeah. Very nice to see it here as well. Let's continue here along the coast. There's now a few hills coming up between Rimini and Pesaro. But I guess they would still be here on this road. No, that's the train line. We said we come here on this road. And then the old route, I'd say, is this one, going here and then down there. Cattolica, and we see the road we are taking nicely here into the hills. And now this is one of the first, actually, a bit more challenging parts of the route, if they have taken this track. How's the fuel level doing? Let's check. Fuel. Almost 60%. So I hope we're alright. Now we're heading into the hills here. And also into the clouds, so I will throttle down a bit, maybe sink a few meters. Cannot see a lot from here, but this is our road there, and we're sinking a tiny bit now. Well, for me it's a tiny bit. I'm not that good in controlling planes. Pros probably, they control them with a few, down to 100 feet per minute basically. I'm going up and down a few hundred feet per minute all of the time. So here we are now actually really in the hills and have some corners to drive. Down there. Still everything is good. 2,100 feet here on the altimeter. And clock says it's 7:35 in the morning. So still a long way to go during this day. Yeah, I didn't know if anybody actually would be interested in doing something like this. I know it's not the most spectacular thing you could do in games, and also in Flight Simulator. But I thought it would be nice for a relaxing evening. I wanted to do it anyway, and I thought, why not share it? Maybe there are a few guys who actually are interested in finding out how the real Mille Miglia looked like. And if it's just 1 or 2 persons, I'm already happy. I would have done it anyway on my own. Alright, now this is Pesaro. There's the marker down there. It has a beach on its own. There's the city center. Few buildings did not really spawn in for the AI there. And then we'll probably take a road that leads us on along the beach. So the train line was already there. This is definitely something that was built quite early, and it makes sense to also build the road right next to it. And they have a very steep coast here. Really interesting. So yeah, there's a road also through this valley here. Could also be that they use this one. But I would guess that this road here already existed. Definitely. The other one as well. But maybe they took the quicker one there. So next up is Ancona. And it's still a little down the road. There are many smaller cities now, each with their own beaches, a lot of tourism in this area. And maybe you can already see it there in the distance, this hill, a little bit of a peninsula. This is where Ancona is. Also a very famous spot for tourists. So this is Fano. Cross the river here, right through the city center. Probably that's at least how they also depicted it in the Ferrari movie. Maybe go around here. Then this is our route here next to the train line. So here the Mille Miglia is quite difficult because there are so many roads you could take, and you need to research what already existed and what would have made sense. It's also densely populated. For the Carrera Panamericana, of course, I found it much easier to think about the road and where it would have gone, and I still want to do it. Maybe not in a live stream format, but in a proper video format with a little bit of background information, because I also read a book about it and learned a bit more about the background story. So maybe the Carrera Panamericana will be done in a video series. And yeah, the Panamericana was all the way through empty deserts, and there are just no roads. There's just one option, or currently maybe there are two. There's the original Panamericana, the Pan American Highway, and maybe a new highway that they built. But then it's really clear that that's a new highway and not it didn't exist in the 50s. So it's very clear what road to take. The only question is through city centers, which road did they take? But it's also much less complicated than here in Italy, where everything just looks like it has been built randomly and there's no grid or anything to the city layout. In Mexico, cities have grown much later, and well, initially it looks like built much regularly, so with a regular grid, and it's much clearer what is the main road you would take through the city. It's just much easier. Yeah, so again, this stretch here, if you take a look on the map, first you think, yeah, okay, they go along the coast, it's fine. But then you just realize by flying how long this actually is. And how long this coast is. And Ancona just marks maybe the halfway mark around this area along the coast. And then we take a bit of a turn and have to go all the way to Pescara. And then we enter the final stage of this first half. All across the boot, basically over the mountains. And this will be a bit more spectacular also from the landscape, I promise. And also the second half I'm doing tomorrow will be, yeah, much more through the hills. We have 2 or 3 mountain passes for tomorrow. So here it's really, the beginning is very easy, very flat. And again here we have the highway, the modern highway on the right. And we take the probably historic route here close to the beach. And the hill of Ancona is getting closer and closer. Let's take a look here again. Oh, we have actually, as I have reduced the throttle a bit, we are down to 1,100 feet. Still running at 3,000 RPM. Don't know if it's the most fuel efficient setting. But we are still above 50%, which I think is good. We should definitely be through more than half of the route for today. There's also a time accelerator in Flight Sim. If you want to take the route on your own and don't have the time to do it in real time, you can also fly double and 4 times the speed. I don't want to do that because I want to experience the full length, and I want to have the achievement of doing it in real time, basically. And I also don't want to risk a crash of Flight Sim, because the CPU already is at its limits streaming and doing Flight Sim. Still going here along the road, along the coast. Very nice hills here on the right. Agriculture all over them. And yeah, the whole coast is just hotel, 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 beach bar, hotel. And I would be ready for vacation right now, seeing all of that. But I have my favorite red grape juice here, so time for a sip. Hope you're enjoying yourself as well. Hoping the engine survives. Yeah, I think the engine will be fine. What will maybe not survive is the content of the fuel tank. Just hope it's enough, and if I'm scared I might already land in L'Aquila, which is basically halfway across the way to Rome. So from this coast to the other coast, on the halfway mark there's L'Aquila in the mountains, and if I am scared of my fuel levels I might already go down there. But I would really love to end in Rome today and do a quick round trip, bit of sightseeing there. Made it to Ancona yet? No, Ancona is coming up, so just the hill you see there, so this peninsula, this is Ancona. So in 2 minutes, 3 minutes, we are in Ancona. A big refinery here. Very beautiful. There's the next beach bar right next to it. Look at it. Oh, so nice. So the road is probably going here. And then let's turn in. No, there's the road here on the left side. This is what I wanted to take. Don't move inwards. There's a castle here on top, looks like. But we can stay here along the road. Yeah, here are all of the hotels. And there's the refinery. Very nice. Probably still nicer than anywhere here in Germany. Yeah, we can already see the big shipyard you have mentioned, Nick. Let's take a look. There it is. The harbor, and here the old town of Ancona. So let's go there. Oh, there's Pinocchio. Look at that. So, I think the road we actually take is this one up here. The other one looks too large for my taste. Maybe we take this one. And don't crash the plane. Is it this one? Maybe. And here we have a big harbor. And somehow need to make our way down. I won't follow all of the roads down here now. That would risk crashing, but somehow we will get through there and head to the old town. Some old defense structures here in the harbor. And there's the old town. Many cruise ships with trees on them. Okay. There's the nice old town with hills and then a big shipyard. With dry dock there. Very nice. So let's turn around and not crash. I'm losing my references now. Let's go to the cockpit to have the instruments. Make sure we don't crash. Let's pull it around. Oh, what a coast here. Very nice. Okay, let's find the way out of this. Oh, nice old castle here. And we need to get up this hill. And there's a nice road carved here into this side. So again, I'm not completely sure how to get out of Ancona. But this one looks at least nice, with serpentines going up this hill. And eventually also going through here. So I guess we'll take this one. Then the road goes over there. And somehow again down here. It's not very nice to see, but I think that's a good way to go. And we're a bit low for my taste. Let's go over here. There's the road over there. We're cutting across here. A spectacular landscape here. Let's go down here. So next up, so the big spot I want to hit is Pescara. This is where we will make the turn into the countryside. Okay, here's a big parking lot, it looks like, for this beach here. Very nice. Yeah, it's a very nice location here with these hills around. Spectacular. Hi Carol Bitt, I'm not from Italy, unfortunately. I'm from Germany, I'm Bavarian. I'd love to be Italian. So, where's the road? Where's the road? Where's the road? Yeah, it's over there. So let's take this bridge. We can see it in the trees where the road goes. And somewhere it's in the trees there. Yeah, there's still a bigger road hidden inside. And here it is again. And what a beautiful village here on the mountain. Oh, it's not so easy to follow right now. But we're getting out of this hilly region very soon. Going down there. Many, many nice villages. What do I drive in real life? Actually not an Alfa Romeo, although I like them from a visuals perspective. I probably wouldn't like them from a repairs perspective. I drive a BMW Z3 Coupe, clown shoe. So, and I only drive it on the weekends. For my daily work stuff related things I go by train. And that's working out quite okay. And for the weekends I have my clown shoe, which is now already 25 years old. And I have it since 5 or 6 years. Ah, nice neighbor from Poland. My girlfriend's ancestors actually are from Poland, so I have been to Poland quite a bit. In the Katowice area. Yes, the clown shoe is inline 6. I have the 2.8 liter version. It was not available with the inline 4, so the convertible had the inline 4 as well, but the coupe version only had the inline 6. And the 2.8 actually was the smallest engine for it. So it's a model year 1999. So we are now still following the beach, and the road I'm pointing at is the propeller, and we have crossed the hills all around Ancona, a spectacular ridge there, and are now further heading south towards Pescara. Yeah, my job is I'm basically engineer manager. I have studied automotive engineering, and I'm in simulation business basically for automotive industries in a smaller company. And yeah, so I've learned vehicle dynamics basically, and yeah, love everything all around simulation. That's why I also got into this automation stuff. MX-5 is also a very nice nick, so absolute reasonable car to have fun with. From a money perspective as well, don't care about the rust. I think that they are absolutely awesome cars and perfect beginner sports cars. You don't need all of the power, so the 2.8 liter engine is way too powerful already with 193 horsepower or something. You cannot use them on the roads anyway, so I actually rather prefer a weaker engine so that you actually can have some full throttle action from time to time. And I really cannot understand why nowadays all of the EVs, they must have 600 horsepower, an equivalent of 600 horsepower or something. It's absolutely useless. Absolutely ridiculous. They could have so much smaller engines, motors, and could be lighter, more efficient, because they want to be the green version, and then they just, yeah, make them 3 tons and 600 horsepower. That's your eco car. But I'm starting to rent, and I'm starting to become angry, and I don't want to do that today. Yeah, I haven't driven an MX-5 in my life yet. I still should. I totally agree. The Clown Shoe was the dream car of my, so the affordable, somewhat affordable dream car of my childhood. So when I was, I think I saw it for the first time when I was 8 or 9 or 10 years old. And since then I wanted to have one. And 5-6 years ago I got one. Found a nice one with not many kilometers in very nice condition. And I'm still very happy. Not many electronics in there, not much that can go wrong. And it's rare enough that it doesn't depreciate anymore, but actually gains in value. So it's a very cheap car to own. So probably we are still on this main road along the coast. You see that's just straight on. Absolutely insane. Now it probably, oh yeah, they can still go down here. And then we have to take a right turn here to get the bridge. Carol, I haven't heard about Isera. I never have. Interesting. Is it also an EV company, or what do they do? What do they plan? So here we have the new highway again in parallel. To San Elpido. So where are we currently? To take a look from time to time on the map. Just to make sure that I don't miss our junction. We have to turn right. I think we still have to go a little bit to the south. Still some way to go. Wow, this coast is so long. And it's probably a good idea to have these very straight parts of the race in the morning where everybody is still awake. And have the more difficult parts in the end. Don't know if it's a good idea because they will be exhausted, but at least they will not fall asleep because they have something to do. René, I haven't done all of the scrutineering yet, but I guess around, so I have 280 entries for the challenge, and my rough guess, it's always around 25% which will be disqualified because of cost, because of quality settings, because of tire dimensions. There are many reasons people still get wrong. I didn't watch the football game yesterday, so I'm actually not a fan of Bavaria Munich or Bayern Munich. Yeah, I'm just not that interested, but I saw that they led until the 88th minute or something, and then yeah, they got 2 goals and that's it. Yeah, bit of a shame, but I think it's better for football to have not only 2 German teams in the finals of the Champions League. Thanks, August. See you soon. Okay. Still, we have to go straight here, but already it's becoming a bit hillier, you might see. So we have been through a bit of a plain there, and then now the hills are starting, and this is showing what's coming up. So if you take a look over there on the horizon, this is what's waiting for us. We have to cross the Abruzzi Mountains, and that very soon. So we're now in Marina Palmense, wherever that is. Still a bit of time to go south. Fuel, oil temperature is alright, engine temperature is alright. Fuel is at 45. Very good, I guess. Now there's the highway has merged, but the brighter road is the one we are taking. And here's Pedaso. So I guess in 10 minutes we might arrive in Pescara, maybe. For the highway they have made a tunnel. The old road goes right along the coast. Yeah, quite some work they put into this. Just out the tunnel and over the bridge. More bridges there, so really challenging terrain. And still hotels and beach bars. Oh no, René, I didn't Google the Mille Miglia, I just made it up on my own. And now it already exists. Oh god. Hope they won't sue me. I really made it up on my own. I needed something starting with 2 M's and something with Mille. And I don't have many words in Italian, so just came up with Monty. I really didn't know that this existed already. God damn it. And probably already is a car named Rivetto, right? Alright, next village is past. So many tourists. You can actually see the other side there. I think the horizon is not completely flat. It might be that we already can see the Balkan, Croatia and so on. Fastest bike race in the world. Okay. Yeah, I need to Google it as well. So next city, again built into the hill, and this is Grotta Mare. Let's follow the beach line. Oh, let's not do that. Let's switch over to the route going through the city centers there. So this is the rail line probably, and then here's the city center road. And we get to San Benedetto del Tronto. In the competition I entered a special version of the Rivetto, actually, so it has a revised engine, or a prototype engine, I would say. So it's not completely law friendly. I also wanted to do good. I'm in the 1100cc class, but I'm not sure if I entered. I think it's an inline-4 engine still, but definitely dual overhead cams are a bit more advanced and fancy, so not completely law friendly. I will also post the stats of each car when we reveal the design voting and when we reveal results of scrutineering. So then you can also see who has how much power and so on. So, Porto d'Ascoli. There are 2 or 3 more valleys and then we're in Pescara for the final stretch. But the scale of this race is absolutely insane. So I'm now live 2.5 hours, going in an airplane, and have covered a third of the overall distance, maybe. Doing 250 kilometers an hour. Oh, Martin Sicuro. Hi Eduardo. Yeah, Nick, it's definitely a spicier version. Yeah, and it's also not the 2-engined chassis. Then I would have had to make a 2.2 liter V8 or something. I actually thought about it, doing something like that, but decided to keep it simple in the end. How is Cisalpina doing? Doing alright, still on the status after the G2. G2 is in engineering, but I will probably continue on Saturday, Sunday. Recording, and then yeah, release it end of this week or sometime next week without too much pressure. Let's go through here, the main road. And yeah, the mountains are getting a bit bigger back there, just waiting for us. Yeah, it's okay. Montone is just the name for the animal, so I don't care if there's a town named like it. It's a normal word. So I'm not. Also, Rivetto is a normal word, so probably not something you could protect. So I'm not scared at all. Also, I still I don't monetize my videos, which is probably stupid. But I will do that very soon. So far there's nothing to get from me. I don't even have a company, and I'm not earning money. What's Eduardo? What's Cis Platina? I don't know. Right. Now we have to take a turn again to make it over the bridge. Oh, there's actually an old bridge there, but probably just for pedestrians. We have to take the proper one. And let's stay here. And somehow we are losing altitude, so it can be that the center of gravity is shifting because we are burning fuel. So I can just fly better, or yeah, but now we're gaining altitude again, as our climb meter down there shows us. So let's see where we even out when I fly straight. Okay, didn't know about that. About Uruguay. Yeah, but just basically just means this side, and Platina, maybe there's an area called like this, and Cisalpina is basically the same. It's on this side of the Alps. So that's probably why they are so similar. So we're still 600 feet only. Yeah, we'll throttle it up a tiny bit. Yeah, I know that it sounds like something else, Nick, but that's the way an Italian would say it, so I don't care. Alright, where are we now? Next one, Roseto degli Abruzzi. Ah, we're getting very close to Pescara. That's good. And then something will change drastically, I can promise that. Yeah, René, you could also say it's inspired by Italia, which was also a small sports car brand in Italy. So there are many different things fused into this one. So cross another river, and I guess this valley down there, this is where we will turn right. Fuel is at 40%. Yeah, I think it's enough to get to Rome. Looking forward to the mountains. We have climbed to 1000 feet almost. Still climbing. So road is here, probably in the back, like there. Still a very touristy area. Yeah, more Assetto. I'm just part of one group doing Assetto, and they don't race very regularly. And I think the next one will be on a day where I cannot race. So I'm just doing the races as they come. I will do more R-Factor 2, hopefully soon, joining the muscle car series with the folks I like the most to race with. So there's definitely more coming. But it has been a busy time now in the first few months of this year, so couldn't get much done during the weekends. René, I'm just so slow producing new episodes that I have always 1 or 2 weeks in between to think about names. That's the main difference. If I just play for my own and build 3 or 4 cars in an evening, then the names are shit as well, because I just don't have time to think about what might make sense. Also, I'm trying to get some inspirations from the community, so I have now started always to post a first draft of the design and then ask for what could be a good name, and then I get more inspirations. Even though maybe I don't choose one of those, I still get ideas what else to think about. But now something really interesting from my point of view. Pescara is ahead of us, and Pescara hosted the Formula 1 race with the longest track, even longer than the Nürburgring, and we just enter the road where this happened. So this is the back straight here, and then they went down there. So it was basically a triangle like this, very long back straight, very long front straight, insane speeds, and then they went through the hills here with many corners, and the track was 25 kilometers or something. So definitely longer than the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and the longest F1 track ever to be used. And the start-finish line was somewhere down there near the train station, I think, in Pescara. Hi Vinny, thanks a lot. And Eduardo, yeah, superchargers, when they are coming at some point, then I'm probably in the 70s already, or 80s, so then I probably already use turbochargers on the Cisalpina models. So let's see how this goes, and I won't restart the campaign when superchargers are coming, but definitely it would have been a good thing to do. So yeah. We have now entered Pescara, and this marks a turning point. We will leave the coast and will head into the countryside here along the airport. So we probably are on this road here, and so we search for a good spot where we can turn right here after this river. So probably here, this one, where there's a tunnel, I believe. Yeah, below these train lines. Then we are going up here. I think this looks somewhat alright. Maybe even, yeah, maybe we already have been on the other side, but it doesn't really matter. We will then just go north, not north, it's actually south, southwest, into this valley here. So again, there are many parallel roads right now leading roughly into this direction. I'd say it's probably, the old one is probably this one here I'm pointing at right now, and I will follow this now for a while. In the middle there's the train line. And we will follow the left road. Nick, they currently do not plan to add diesels because it would require a completely new engine designer. So they won't be coming with automation 1.0. So we're heading up there to Chieti. We can see a good road like there. And the next major landmark or milestone we need to reach is Popoli. And I have already climbed to 1,500 feet. And I need to climb probably a bit more. Throttled up a bit more. Let's maybe try 2,000. Oh, there's also nice villages up there on the mountain, on the hill. And now it really becomes hilly for us again as well. So here our road turns right, I guess, and merges with this one. I hope I'm still in the right direction. Don't have many markers right now. I need to be right of Casalin Contrada, but I don't know if I'm far enough to the right. Rosiano. Not on my map. Ah, yeah, it's alright. I think we're good. Direction is good and mountains are ahead. (1,900 feet). I added more throttle now. And let's go there. So there's a highway on the right, but there's also a regional road on the left of it, and this is the one we are following. Still, yeah, not too many corners. Of course, you don't go 250 here anymore, and it also is uphill. But it's not like there's a tight corner after tight corner. But definitely power is the most important thing to have, not cornering ability. Now we have reached Scarpa, which is on our route. Very good. And look at this valley ahead. Now that's something different. Really heading into the mountains now. I'm already climbing because I don't know what's coming up, and rather be safe than sorry. 2,500 feet. Slowly but steadily climbing. We could get more out of this. So basically, if you're in the green area on the upper end, you still can trade in speed for climbing rate. So we could climb a lot faster. The road is currently down there. And there's also a train line, so the very bright line is the train line, and the dark one is the road we are following. And here it's probably time to turn right. Go through this city here. Or is it? Yeah, I think it is. We need to head into this valley over there. Through the city. And then I think we need to go over there again. So across the highway, across here, and then go right here on the roundabout and head into the valley. Because again, the bright line on the other side is the train track. Oh yeah, but there's actually a road as well. Didn't see the road before, but now there it leads completely to another direction. And this isn't the proper road, so I guess we are on the right side of the river. There's some wind palms there. And now mountains. Very nice. The road carves nicely here into the side of the mountains. It's hard to see when you're not on the highway. But that's definitely we need to take. And that's now more, yeah, it's more for something for cars that I can actually corner. Then what's this over there? I don't know. Sul Tirino. Probably not. There's Popoli. Okay, that was one of our important cities. And from Popoli we will now turn right really into the mountains. So let's find the road. We're still here on this side of the river. We need to cross it. There are a few options that we have, but I already see the road that we need to take, which is this one. So probably this bridge is our choice, and then we'll head up here through the Serpentine, and then really nice mountain road here, and try to get across. I'm happy that I already have some elevation. Well, 3,200 feet. And let's cross the mountains here. This is now the SS-17. And we're on our way to L'Aquila. Fuel 30%. Excellent, I think. Yeah, so now it's about driver skill. Cornering, braking. And we enter a really nice valley up high in the mountains around Navelli. So this really now is some altitude that we have reached. Nice village there again on the mountain. And it's now 8:40 in the morning already, so we're definitely quicker than all of the cars down there. And we further head into this valley here at 3,500 feet. I don't know how high you are allowed to go with this plane. Definitely not very high, because it's so basic and simple. It's also just, I think only just registered for visual flight, so no instrument flight, only in good weather conditions. So this is Carpacciano, which is almost halfway between Popoli and L'Aquila. I guess, so I'm not sure, in normal older planes you would have to regulate the mixture of the fuel manually. In this case here it says just keep it in, stick it all in. And when you want to stop the engine, pull it out. Normally with carbureted engines you would have to make the mixture leaner as you move up in altitude, because yeah, the air is less dense, so you need less fuel for the optimum mixture. Not sure about this one. Might be that it's turbocharged, I don't know. So might be that it always can run with the same mixture. But at least it says also in the manual, just keep it in. It will work. It might be that it's still running a bit too rich, too fat, and that I'm wasting fuel. We are still at 30%. So I hope it's alright. So any marker San Nicandro. Don't see it on my map. Tosio. Yeah, I have San Pio del Chimere. How about the stream, by the way? I see it in my small window that it might be stuttering, even though the game itself is 100% fluent here. So very smooth. I think the stream was alright in the beginning, but might have deteriorated quite a bit. Nothing I can change right now, but still would be interesting to know. Can we get some loops at the end? No, because I have a realistic damage on, and realistic damage just means you get a black screen when you exceed certain acceleration values. So they basically mimic a plane breaking apart, and I don't know when that happens, and I don't want to end our flight like this. So I will just bring it down. I will do a loop around Rome. That's all of the loops I can do. No loopings. Okay, San Martino, San Gregorio. I'm not sure if it will survive the barrel roll. Maybe I can do that tomorrow when I have practiced a bit off screen. I'm not sure. Okay, stream looks fine. Very good. It's just a bit concerned that it's stuttering, mostly during panning around. I spent 2 hours today to optimize it, and then it looked fine in the beginning, and then it would have been really bad if it deteriorated over time. So what's there? Paganica. Yeah, we almost are in L'Aquila, which is straight ahead, which is the last major milestone before Rome. So let's admire the mountains again. Let's further follow our road down there. And then find the exit that we need towards Rome. So now the question is, probably we go up here. Looks a bit like an older road compared to the one in the valley. Yeah, there's L'Aquila. And again we have multiple options to go to Rome. I picked the one that's most likely. And this is somewhere. So the one that's the least dangerous, I would say. Let's pick that one. seems to be a castle there, which is not rendered. So we're now coming into the city somehow, somewhere, and we will exit it somewhere over there. On the other side, basically, just crossing through. Probably following this road here. And then like this, and I don't know which valley we have to choose over there. Thanks, René, for the naming. So let's take a look at our map again. Would like to see some names to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. And there's an airport there on the right, and I definitely need to stay left of it. I might already have... Ah, yeah, I see this highway here. And with regards to this highway, I would like to go down this road here. Yeah. I think that's the way to go. It goes below the highway and up here. And I hope that's the right direction. Or is it? I actually don't believe it is. I actually believe we have to follow the highway. And what's of course possible is that at some point they built the highway over the old road, because here you don't have so many options where to build the roads. Why not just upgrade an existing proven connection? So it might be that they just took this one, because all of the other roads in this area just look tiny. Of course you could say they maybe found a way up this road here. Could also be. I don't know. Let's just admire the landscape as it is. We definitely have been traveling through this kind of landscape. I think that's remarkable enough. But I am starting to be a bit afraid with regards to our altitude. We should definitely throttle up and maybe also trim up again a little bit, because I think the highway just disappears in the mountain at some point and I need to go over the mountain. I trimmed up a little bit more even. We really need to climb now. What's this mess here? Quite interesting. But yeah, there's definitely a tunnel there and we have to go over it. Wonder where we end up. The second half of the route is tomorrow from Rome back to Brescia. So it's a loop basically, and we are doing the first half today and tomorrow we go back. But basically on not the same way back, but a different route to close the loop. So now we're over this ridge safely. Question is, where is the road? I guess it is somewhere there. Yeah, I can already see the highway. Yeah, just enough altitude. There's our shadow. Let's follow this valley, and I think the highway is coming up, coming back down there. Can trim down again. Also de-throttle. Yeah, still climbing. And now I think we should sink again, and there's our highway. Yeah, the question is, was this the route or not with the big tunnel? Was this tunnel already existing? And I think maybe this was a mistake and they did another route. So there's a big mountain pass that you could also do through Rocca di Mezzo and so on. So might be that we took the wrong route here. But at least we ended up in different parts of the mountains here. In a beautiful part. There's Torano. There at Torano we have to go. Oh, I actually think we took the completely wrong turn out of L'Aquila. Oh god. Yeah, I forgot to take a look at the route. We should have gone through to Antrodoco and Rieti. And yeah, that looks a bit different. And we also wouldn't have followed the highway. So it's somewhere over there. I don't think it makes a big difference, but I just want to be transparent that it's definitely not the right route that I have flown today. At least from L'Aquila to Rieti and to Rome, basically. That part, I should do that again at some point. I will think about if I will do that tomorrow at the start of the stream, but probably not. Maybe I'll just do another video or another short live stream at some point. Again, big tunnel, and yeah, I think it's clear that this road probably did not exist in 1950. I will still follow it now. Just to make sure that we find our way home. And we definitely will. But yeah, I'm a bit sad that I took the wrong turn just because I didn't take a look at them at the list of names of the villages I have to visit. But we still see some amazing stuff here. Pietrasecca. What a wonderful village. And what crazy road building here. At least we now have a proper road again, not a highway to follow. There's Carsoli. This is Villa Romana. And we have definitely made already half the way from L'Aquila to Rome. So, not a long time to go. Fuel is at less than 20%. Oh no, more than 20% still. So it should be alright. Auricola. We're at 3,200 feet. Will I land in FCO? What's FCO? I don't know the terms of the airports in Rome. I plan to land in Roma Urbe, so the small airport in the city center, because I didn't want to fly all the way out, and it also fits very well the type of plane I'm flying. What a beautiful part of the world we have ended up in by accident. I guess the highway goes... Oh, look at this. Very nice Roviano. Absolutely stunning. And yeah, maintaining these roads must be a nightmare. So many bridges. Yeah, FCO, if it's the main airport, then I definitely won't land there. I will choose the smaller one, which is much closer to the city center. Hi Jackson, I think it's you, right? This is a Piaggio P.149. So basically a Vespa with wings. 1953 basic trainer airplane used by German military, by Swedish military, many people. It was a license built by Focke-Wulf in Germany, in Bremen, with a BMW. So BMW also licensed the engine, the 6-cylinder engine, 270 horsepower. But basically a small trainer, nothing too fancy, very simple, basic stuff in there. No electronics, just flying with a map and of course these markers for the cities to validate my position, and trying to find the route of the Mille Miglia. Currently you have joined and I'm completely lost. I'm not on the right track anymore. So I'm currently on the way to Rome, but I took the wrong turn in the mountains and went through the wrong valley out of L'Aquila, and that's why these 15 minutes of my current trip are not realistic. Yeah, so we're very close to Rome. We are almost over the Abruzzi mountains, and I think that urban area down there, this could already be Rome, which marks the end of our trip today. And we will do the way back from Rome through the mountains, through Bologna, Modena and so on, and Firenze tomorrow. And I will correct this bit that I messed up now, probably on Saturday or something. Another nice mountain village there. Castel Madama, then there's Tivoli ahead, and then we're through the mountains, and I will just head right into the city center for a bit of sightseeing and then land it and call it a day. So I tried to avoid all of the highways because I think most of them didn't exist. With the route I have currently taken, with the wrong route, I then stuck to this highway just to lead me to Rome. I tried to find the real route with the real roads that actually existed back in the day. I think made somewhat 80% correct, but the last part was 100% wrong. The reason is definitely not too much of my red grape juice I'm drinking. I just had half a glass, so that was not the reason. I just didn't read again because I thought, okay, L'Aquila and then Rome, and then it's fine. No, it's L'Aquila, Rieti, and then it's fine. I missed to go to Rieti. Alright. There's Rome up ahead. Somewhere there. Just follow this highway even further. Yeah, Tivoli was probably over there. Took a little detour. Alright. Yep, I think we're now heading for the right spot. There's Tivoli. Okay. And from now on, just head into the city. So the real road would have probably taken me out of this valley here, for this brown mountain there, to Rome. But in the end we just end up at the time control. They will just, as long as we arrive at our control station, then I think it's alright. They don't have to know that we took a complete detour. Back in the 50s we just would have had the problem that all of the tunnels didn't exist, and we would have ended in cul-de-sac somewhere in the mountains probably. Alright, I can already spot some larger marks there, which are typically some hand-built 3D objects. Yeah, very flat now. I also think that, and they said Rome was built on 7 hills, and I don't see a single hill. So there's a bit of a white spot there. This is probably already one of the monuments. Hi cars, new automation with probably sometime next week, I guess. So there are definitely more hills here than in the beginning of our trip today, where it was just a pancake in the plains of the Po River. But yeah, compared to what we just had, these are not hills. Yeah. So we see some markers there, which means there's stuff to see. So let's take a quick round trip. We also can see the other side of the Mediterranean Sea here, the other side of the boot. We just crossed Italy completely from east to west. And I can now probably start to go down a bit. We're still at 2,400 feet. I will decrease the throttle, see where we end up. Still oil is fine. Fuel is at 17%, so I will make it. You can even do a little bit of sightseeing. So yeah, we're sinking rapidly. The Flight Sim Pros probably can fly better than I do. 600, 700 feet per minute. But I also want to go down quickly. Speed is, yeah, as we are going down, speed has increased. We're still in the green area, so everything is alright. And there are many landmarks here in Rome. Let's see if we can identify a few. And I already am looking for my airport. I think it's over there somewhere. So let's take a look. Still sinking. Yeah, I will keep the throttle as it is now. Maybe I should have deactivated all of the markers. So many things to see. But then we will not miss anything major. But it's also, some of those are just quarters or districts of Rome, I guess. We definitely enter from the main station side here. The main station is right ahead of us. And then let's start here on the left. What do we have here? Basilica. There's so many things. Here we have the Colosseum. Very nice. Some park. There's some city wall as well. Yeah, the most interesting part is probably here, Colosseum, and what's behind. So here we have a very old racetrack, Circus Maximus. We have the Forum Romanum. Rome is awesome. I haven't been there, and I had Latin for 8 or 9 years in school. It's a complete shame. Altare della Patria. Yeah. These things are absolutely amazing here. Here we have the biggest concrete dome without steel, without reinforcements. We'll need to take another loop there. see it from another direction. Absolutely fabulous city there. Stadiums and stuff over there. Not that interesting to me right now. Stadiums and museums. Piazza. There we have St. Peter, Vatican City. Really nice stuff going on there. Let's take a look from this side again and then search for the airport. I could also try to land in Circus Maximus, right? But it's a bit short. Let's go over the racetrack again, over the Colosseum. Oval racing, how boring is that? Alright, and then let's look for our airport. Where is it? Checking. Let's check our compass. 30 degrees. Yeah, could be alright. St. Peter. Probably more into this direction. Tomorrow is again at 7 p.m. European time, Central European time, and probably again a bit short, probably a bit shorter than today, maybe 3 hours. I hope we will be able to do it a bit quicker, because we have done more than half of it today. Where is this airfield? I think it's there. But it's directly at the river, that's for sure. And I think it's over there. Going directly north right now, which is at least the right direction. Yeah, that's the airfield. There it is, and I will land from here. So, preparations. Need wheels. Need flaps. 2 stages of flaps. Need to reduce my speed. I'm going way too fast. And yeah, again, normally you would need to announce that you are coming in. I won't do that. Normally you would probably reduce your speed properly. I won't do that. I just try to get it down. I'm still a bit high. You would try to fly a bit more in a straight line. Probably should. Sorry for bad cameraman. Let's give myself a bit more road. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it over there? No, there it is. Okay. And now reduce throttle. Yeah, that was a bit much. So the speed indicators should probably still be in the green, just to make sure that we could abort our landing in case something goes wrong. Still probably a bit too fast. Not the best flight simmer. Did I say that already? Yeah, way too high. But we will drop out of the sky. Get ready to take over the rudder. And gently does it. Bump, bump. Ah, rudder, rudder. Yep, we're down. Brakes. And we can even... Is there a good taxiway somewhere? No, we have to go all the way to the end. Probably need some throttle. I should brake a bit more. Survived. Who would have thought that? A bit too much speed here. Not too bad. Let's find a parking spot. Is somebody waiting for us? Probably not. There's somebody. I think they are waiting for me, right? Yeah. Bit quick. He will not tell me to stop, so I'll just stop here. Okay, I'm stopped. And then we can just pull this one. And, oh, yeah, engine is dead. Excellent. Oof, that was quite a journey. Brescia to Rome with a little bit of a detour in the Abruzzi. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow is the second half, and we'll try to find the correct way back at least. It is quite challenging, yeah. And without the markers to tell us which village is which, then I don't think we would have had a chance without doing advanced navigation, radio navigation, and so on. So I'm pretty happy, and yeah, if you enjoyed it, feel free to tune in tomorrow. Thanks for joining, and have a great rest of the evening. Bye bye.